And good morning, everybody. We are thrilled to welcome our first guest on the Morning Blend today. Super exciting show that we have planned for you today because we have, starting over here, we have Robin Yount. He is, of course, a Major League Baseball Hall of Famer and minority owner of the Chinooks.
Yeah, he's first at bats today. He spent all 20 years of his career in the Brewers, and he collected more hits in the 80s than any other player and carried the team to the World Series in '82. And he's also a minority owner of the Lakeshore Chinooks. We're on the on-field host. It's a lot of fun.
And you
there.
do a great job.
Yeah, and that's where these two guys come into play. We've got Joe Greenfield and Ryan Krill. They're both players on the collegiate wood bat team. Thanks for being here, you guys.
Nice to have you guys here. We got a
be
dog
here.
over there in the background, but don't be alarmed. Let's talk a little bit about the ownership group, why you decided to be part of it.
Well, it was an easy decision for me. I was looking initially to promote Robinade and help the MAC Fund, and thought that what better place to do it than at, at a ballpark. So I was kind of looking around the Northwoods League or League to existing teams and possibly doing something with a new team. Well, when I mentioned that to Jim Kazmarek from Kapco, he was all for it, and it worked out great because Concordia University needed a new baseball field, and Jim was more than happy to put a group together to build them one and create a new team in the Northwoods League. And it was a way to help promote baseball amongst the college kids, and also these kids here getting an opportunity to hone their skills to one day play professionally. And the kids behind the scenes may someday work for a professional franchise themselves.
Cool. Well, that's what I was going to say. How much pride do you feel when you're watching these boys on the field? Because we had, what, 4 All-American players this year, all-star players on our team from the Chinooks go to play for the Northwoods League.
Well, it's great. That's why, we're bringing these kids here to see if we can't someday watch them play in the major leagues, and that's what goes on in the Northwoods League. But on the other side too, it's not just on the field that I think is such an important thing for the Chinooks. Is we've got college kids behind the scenes, whether it's from selling tickets, selling merchandise, the trainers of the teams are all college kids that I'd like to see, someday stay in the sporting world.
I think it's so cool. Both of you drafted by the major leagues. How cool is that?
It's pretty cool. It's definitely an honor, and just hopefully get these years of college done, and hopefully get another opportunity.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
So cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a blessing. You grow up as a kid, and want to play in the major leagues, and that's one of the big steps that needs to happen, and just to get an opportunity like that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I was teasing you kind of earlier in the season, Joe, just about the fact he was drafted this last year by the Minnesota Twins, and I said, you got to take it. I'm from Minnesota. But it's a tough decision, and I think what you guys have to decide, at this age, at this young of an age, between finishing your college careers and getting degrees and taking the draft, or going to the major leagues, is a really big decision. Both of you have decided to stay in school, correct? And finish your degrees. Why would you decide to do that versus take a draft to a major league team?
I think, just like in my point, I just think it was just the right opportunity. I don't think it was right for me at the time to take the offer and stuff. So I just figured, get the schooling done with, and then I think I'll be more mature, and that's when I could really take off, with my baseball career, in a year or two.
Definitely, I agree with that. I mean, I was drafted out of high school, so I was only 18 years old when I got drafted. So I know I definitely wasn't ready to go out and play pro ball right away. So I chose to go to college and mature a little bit. And I mean, getting a degree is huge. So if you get a degree, it's
baseball is one of the only sports where they draft right out of high school. Yeah. And I was thinking, for guys who are drafted to the major leagues, like, how cool does that look to your high school friends? Right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, seriously. It's like, I mean, everybody knows. I remember in my high school, there was a kid who was drafted. I mean, everybody was talking about him. It's so cool. So good for you guys. What do you think is fun about playing specifically for the Chinooks?
There's not really anything bad. I mean, there's some teams, out in the Northwoods, their park or something, or like, the facilities, might not be as well, but everything they do with Lakeshore is just awesome. We have a great, athletic training staff, which most of the teams in Northwoods don't. We have, a weight room. Our field is beautiful. The fans and support, the host families. I mean, there's nothing actually bad about it.
Great on-field host.
Yeah.
I mean, I was getting out saying that.
It's so much fun. I always say, like, the first time people come out to a Chinooks game, they're always surprised at how much fun it is because it's a newer team. We've only been around for 2 years. They see the number 19 on our jerseys, a lot of the jerseys out there. So there's a lot of, you know, hometown pride that goes into the Chinooks and having you boys here for the summer. But you play, what, 70 games in 75 days?
Yeah.
How grueling is that? I mean, you just got done off the All-Star break, but are you feeling ready? Because the playoffs are coming up. Are we going to make it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah?
I hope so. We're in first place right now, so
I
hopefully
know!
we can keep things going. But it's a long season, so I mean, coming into it though, you're geared up though, and you know it's going to be a long season, so you get your body and your mind ready for it, and I mean, it's actually flown by. So.
And another thing too, like we were talking about, like with the draft and stuff too, playing with, you know, this Northwoods League, it gets you ready for pro ball, and this is
Definitely.
another step to help you mature to be ready for pro ball, you know.
Definitely.
I would think pitching that in so many of the games that you do would be a really hard position. I mean, I know my son plays Little League, and it's like, you know, they count every pitch. It's like once they get close to 20, you know, they take them out of the game. But it's just, it seems like it would be so taxing on your arm. And I always feel like, you know, all the pitcher's like the center of attention. Do you feel a lot of pressure playing that position?
You
Yeah,
love it.
I mean, I embrace it. I love it a lot. Yeah, absolutely. It's a great feeling. You know, the day I pitch, everyone, you know, is like doing stuff for me, and you know, I get whatever I want. So it's really nice. But then at the same time, it's really kind of boring when I'm not. You know, it's just pretty much working out, doing my throwing program and stuff the days I'm not pitching. So I take a lot of pride in the day I, you know, pitch and embrace it as much as I can.
Good for you.
There's a lot of little unique things around the field when people go out and see. I mean, there's a chance for kids to come out. They can get autographs after the games. They can run the bases. One of the field choices isn't one of the distances 319 after your number?
We have a number of the dimensions around the outfield fences are numbered after Brewer players. I think one of them is 319. There's is it 404?
I believe so, yeah.
404 in center for Molitor, and 344 somewhere for Hank Aaron.
Yep.
And I think there's one more, isn't?
I don't even remember.
But yeah, you know, we
I don't
try
know
to include a few things that, you know, might, you know, if people pay attention, they can figure out that, hey, there's something behind that. So we had a lot of fun putting it all together.
It's
I was going to say, we just saw you with Bud Selig there as well. On
Yeah, we
opening
had
day.
Mr. Selig, the commissioner, throw out the first ball opening day to this year, which was really exciting for everybody.
Yeah.
I know it's not a favorite topic, but it's hard to not bring up the Ryan Braun story, always in the headlines right now. I wonder how much pressure do you feel there is on young players and those in the big leagues to use performance-enhancing drugs?
Well, I hope now there's no pressure, because this is the goal that we've been trying to reach, was have a drug testing program in place that will get rid of all of this. And, you know, unfortunately, what happened to Ryan, I hope sets, you know, we can get something positive out of this by setting a precedent for the younger players that you just don't need that. And the nice thing about the drug testing program is it takes the pressure off the players to have to do it. When we didn't have that in place, it was a tough call. When you saw guys' abilities going, certain players going right by you because they were doing some drugs that were making them better, it made it very difficult for the other players to decide, you know, maybe I have to do this to keep a job. Well, I think the pressure is off of that now because of the drug testing programs we've put in place.
It's a great point.
I do too. You know, we often go out to Highland House or something afterward, and I've chatted with you boys about that too, especially you, Joe. And you said, you know, there can be pressure, but it's just you have to stick true to who you are and your goals in life, and know that you're good enough the way you are. Neither of you will ever get involved in that, right?
Exactly. Yeah, not a chance.
It's great
Right.
to have you guys here.
Well, we got games coming up.
Yeah.
Starting
Really?
tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, and then all week next week, Tuesday through Sunday. Here's how you can get Tuesday through Saturday. Those are our last games before the playoffs. You got to come see them. They're the best team in the Northwoods League. The phone number to call for tickets is 262-618-4659. If you got kids, go online at lakeshorechinooks.com. That's where you can sign up to have your kids run the minnow race with me, or come down on the field when you get there, sign up to play some games in between every inning as well. You might catch Robin out there, and definitely see these boys play some good ball.